As a very visual medium, it of course follows that you're going to need to learn to create some high quality pictures and videos if you really want to make a splash on Instagram. There's definitely an art to this, and we're not going to be able to turn you into a pro photographer overnight. But there are certainly a few things that we can do to help. Starting out, you might just want to upgrade your hardware. Of course, a good place to start is with a decent phone. While it is possible to take photos with cameras and then add them to Instagram via your phone, which we'll get to in a moment, you're still going to need a good camera phone for your live videos at the very least. Good phones for this include the newest Samsung Galaxies as well as the latest iPhones. Make sure that the selfie camera is good too, and Samsungs are particularly good at this thanks to a particularly wide lens. But for photos, it does make sense to take your pictures on a separate camera. If you can afford to get yourself a DSLR camera, or at least a mirrorless camera, then you'll find that you can take a significantly higher quality of photo and then use this to create the kind of professional sheen that otherwise wouldn't be possible. There are a few other peripherals that you can get to help you along the way as well. One is some form of lighting, such as a softbox. For video and for photographs, having great lighting can make a massive difference to your picture quality. Meanwhile, you might also want to consider getting a lavalier microphone, also known as a lapel mic or a tie mic, to plug into your phone, which will greatly enhance your audio quality. For non-live video, you can use a Blue Yeti mic or another freestanding microphone for video that you upload later on. As you can see, you can pick these up on sites like eBay without having to spend a great deal of money. Software can also make a big difference. I highly recommend the app Pixlr for making collages of your photos, and you can download it from Pixlr, which is pixlr.com. But you should also consider getting some photo editing software for your PC. Photoshop is, of course, the big one, and you can read more about it at adobe.com/products/photoshop.html. And at the time that I'm making this video, there is a free trial offer. But you can also do as well with something like GIMP, which you can download for free from gimp.org. And this is just as good as Photoshop for most of the things that you'll want to do on Instagram. And of course, it has the distinct advantage of being completely free and open source. Perhaps more important than hardware and software, though, is the wetware, the person behind the camera. There is definitely a skill to taking great photos and videos, and this is something you'll learn with time. I'm not going to go into how you can achieve certain effects like macros here. That's up to you to learn, and I highly recommend you take a photography course if you want to get good at Instagram. This will also teach you things like how to get the lighting just right so your photo isn't too bright, and you can also learn to bring out the most detail with interesting shadows. But for the meantime, just try to think about the foreground, the middle ground, and the background. Give your photos depth by making sure that you have something of interest in all three stages, and try to create a sense of scale by including more items than just the subject. Don't always take photos head on either. Think about more interesting angles and perspectives. More importantly, think about what you aren't photographing or how you can set up a story. As I alluded to earlier in this video series, an empty glass of wine can tell a story. Think about telling stories through omission. It's much more interesting than always tackling your subjects head on.
For more free educational content, visit learnforfree.biz. Content produced and distributed by AllSuperInfo.